Yo, this is Editor Maddox. I quickly realized I didn't have an intro for this video, but that's cool, just doing it now. Anyway, so I woke up nice and early and I got to fixing on my bike, which I had to take the tire off and fix the bike tube. As you can see, there's a hole in it that I've tried to fix before, but it's still giving me problems, still flattening out and whatnot. So now I'm gonna go do and fix all that up. These are the tools I use, by the way, just a little screwdriver with a Phillips and whatnot. Right. So now, right? Hold up. This is weirdly. Okay. So now, as you can see, I just need to fill up the bike tube. Once I fill this up, hopefully, I don't know if this piece that I fixed, that may be the problem. That might be why it popped on me midway. I really don't know. But either way, is or isn't, I have to wait for my mom to get back home because she has the compressor. That is what allows me to fill this back up with air. Once I fill this with air, I'm gonna see if it has a hole or not, see why it popped on me. Could have just been that it was low air. I took it for a ride yesterday with one of my friends. So it could have been that maybe I rolled over something that, something. Anyway, once I do that, I just have to fit it over the rim. And then once I fit it over the rim, I fit the tire over that. I'm gonna film that whole process too and everything. Because I actually have a pretty neat trick for it because it's kind of hard to do it because I don't know if you noticed this, but the tube is not perfectly fitting to the tire right now. It's a bit bigger, you know what I'm saying? So what I had to do last time I put it in was I think I had to actually crump a piece like that and put it in the tire, but obviously it's pretty hard to do without other pieces of this either falling out, kind of like how it is now, or expanding too much. But I have a neat trick for that with some tape that I'm going to show you once I get the compressor back. We'll go outside, do that. For now though, my mom's out grocery shopping, so don't know how much time that's going to be. But so now I'm gonna do some other things that are part of my kind of like daily routine and whatnot. Then we'll get back to the bike fixing. Then after the bike fixing, I don't really know what we're gonna do, but this is a pretty willy-nilly process. So now I'm gonna go probably take a shower, and I'll see you in the next activity. Welcome to my kitchen. Just freshly got out of the shower. That's why I'm in a new change of clothes. It wasn't really a shower, it was more of a wash off, you feel me? I just don't like being super sweaty, you know what I'm saying? But I still probably stank, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't really wash myself all that well. I kind of just washed the sweat off. But that's not really what we're here to discuss. So right now, I'm about to make me a little sandwich because I'm pretty hungry, to be honest with you. Originally what I had done is I had gotten the bike so that I could go over to my significant other's house, my girlfriend, right? I was gonna drop off some stuff. She wasn't feeling so good. And then my tire just popped midway, not midway, about like two-thirds of the way there. So I was like, oh shit, well, I kind of need I still want to drop this stuff off, but now I need to walk back home. It's not super far, she doesn't live super far, which is great. But it was still a nice 30-minute walk back at least with a bike on me. And what I had to do is I carried the bike on my back instead of because I couldn't roll it because the tire tube, rim, and wheel was all out of coordinates. The wheel itself was outside of the tire tube, so the rim and the tire tube were just on the ground. And I'm like, well, if I just roll this and it's not going because you know what I'm saying? Then this is just gonna drag, it's gonna hit all the concrete. That's just more damage on the cause of the tire tube. You know what I'm saying? That's more stuff I'm gonna probably have to fix. So I was like, okay, well, you know what? This is really not a heavy bike. I just put it on my shoulders and I just carried it. That hurt my shoulders a lot though. It felt like I was like doing walking lunges or something. But either way, So I walked home, and then I got home, and then I filmed that piece you just seen of me taking the wheel off and whatnot. That being said, I haven't really eaten all day, so I was like, all right, well, I figured the next segment should be a little kitchen video, right? And so that's what I'm doing now, right? Now I'm making a ham and cheese sandwich. I'm not using the typical cheese I would use. Typically, I use the cheese to coordinate with the meat. But the meat that I had, the cheese that I had went missing. I don't know where it was at. Usually I like to use pepper jack. But now I've got this cheese my mom got. It's reduced fat Swiss cheese. Usually I like Swiss cheese when I'm eating a ham sandwich. Not a ham sandwich, a turkey sandwich, excuse me. Which usually, just because it's a different, you know what I'm saying, it's a different flavor. You feel me? Ham is not I feel like it doesn't, you know, I mean, maybe I'm tripping, I haven't tried it today, it'll be the first day I'll see. But I feel like ham and Swiss don't go together the same way turkey and Swiss do. You know, I prefer turkey overall to ham. I mean, I prefer ham overall to turkey just because I think it tastes better. I've always been that way, you know. Same at Thanksgiving, I'm not the biggest turkey person. You feel me? I like it when it's drenched in gravy and I mix it up with my mashed potatoes, you know what I'm saying? And my peas and whatnot, right? I like that. But then it's not really even turkey at that point, is it? So, yeah, I really like sandwiches though. Sandwiches is honestly a really important part to me because I just eat them so much. Usually I eat about like 6 to 7 sandwiches a day, you know? So I eat a lot of sandwiches, right? And I love sandwiches too. I wouldn't say I'm a sandwich connoisseur, but you know, I'm kind of a sandwich connoisseur. I don't know how this looks to the camera, but I'm trying to open this. It's not working, not cooperating, right? That's okay though. So, as I was saying, oh yeah, I love sandwiches. I love sandwiches a lot. I lived in Barcelona, Spain for a year, and in that year, me and my mother, we traveled to Italy, and we also traveled to a couple small towns in France, on the south of France, like Aix-en-Provence, and I forget, French Riviera, I think. That might be wrong. Don't quote me on this, but anyway. But I remember one sandwich I had a Capri sandwich. I want to say this was in Aix-en-Provence. No, this was in Nice. This was in Nice. Nice was the city I was thinking of, right? So I was in Nice and I had a Capri sandwich at a little sandwich shop that they had on the side of the beach because Nice is like this long road that just they have a bunch of shops and hotels and all this nice stuff, right? And it's right next to the beach, beautiful beach and whatnot. Anyway, I had a Capri sandwich and I've never forgotten about that Capri sandwich. And it was a really good sandwich. Probably the best sandwich I ever had in my life, if I'm being really honest, you know. I think about it pretty consistently. I'd say that sandwich runs through my mind at least once a month, at least, you know. I mean, depending, like right now I'm talking about sandwiches, so I think about it. But like, I'm not really talking about sandwiches, and it doesn't really run through my mind that much. You feel me? Usually I make about 3 sandwiches per serving because I'm on a miniature bulk, if you want to call it. I'm pretty into fitness and whatnot, so bulking, for those of you who know or don't know, is when you just try to gain a lot of weight through eating. But basically, oh, I got sick. I got really sick. I was sick for like 3 weeks straight, and can you believe it? Interrupting me like that? So I was sick for like 3 weeks, right? And I lost like 20 pounds. You know, I used to weigh 195-ish, and then I dropped all the way to 175. And it was the most lean I've ever been in my life. I literally, like, I had full-on visible abs down to the bottom. It was ridiculous. Which I didn't mind, to be honest, because, you know, I got a nice amount of muscle on my frame. Not a nice amount. I had some muscle on my frame. So I really didn't mind still. But I'd gotten way weaker, way less mass overall. I mean, I literally went back to school, and there's a weightlifting class at my school that my coach teaches. And I took my shirt off and I just had a white beater underneath because I had a collared shirt over that, right? I don't want to work out in a collared shirt, right? That makes sense. So I was working out in that, and then like everyone noticed, like, damn, you got small. Hurt my heart a little bit, you know, but it is what it is. Wait, right now I'm on Christmas break, so I have 3 weeks. I just got on Christmas break. This is my first Saturday. I'm not too sure what day today is, but anyway, today's like my 3rd or 4th day on Christmas break. I got out Thursday, so I'm hoping over these 3 weeks I can gain that weight back, gain that strength back, and whatnot. Which leads me into my next talking point. The gym I go to, that my friend introduced to me, it's a really great gym. I really highly recommend it. Stopped doing day passes, and that was the main way I paid, because I didn't really have membership for a full. I didn't have money for a membership, so I would just do day passes. Me and my friend would go there all the time, and we'd get our workouts after school and whatnot. Because I'm not in the weightlifting class anymore. I was in it last year, and that's how I actually got into working out. So I've been working out for about a year now. But anyway, I'm not in it anymore, but I have a class that's just a study hall, and a lot of times he'll let me go and work out. So that's what I do a lot of times. And so I just was explaining that. Oh yeah, so last time me and my friend would go there, and he's like, yeah, no more day passes, too many people are cutting, something like that. I wasn't really listening, to be honest with you. But he was blabbering, and I was just like, all right, well, that's cool, I guess. And then, I came back home, or we came back home, and then we rode the bikes. And that's how that bike is broken now. Well, not broken, but that's why I think it has a flat. I think it has a flat because we rode it. Not blaming him, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, now we got these 2 great sandwiches. Let me see how this looks in the camera. Oh yeah, look at the lighting. Feel me? These are probably about maybe 5, maybe 350, 400 calories each. You know? Trying them with the new cheese, so I'll do a little taste test in front of you all, let y'all know how the Swiss and ham flavor combination goes. I'll do that right quick, and then we'll cut into the next segment. Yeah, inside view for y'all. It ain't bad, to be honest with you. I mean, I think the ham overpowers the flavor of the Swiss cheese. But the Swiss cheese, is, to be honest, it's kind of nice. It's like a nice, subtle, you know what I'm saying? I kind of like that. I might do that, I'm gonna do that more often. So, I'm gonna pack all this up, head to the office. Not the office, but a office. I'm gonna head to a office that's in my house. It's not really an office, it's a bedroom, but there's a desk in it. It's an office. And then I think next what we're gonna do is I'm going to, I don't really know. But after that then, just because this is about me eating lunch and whatnot, after that I'm gonna go, we're gonna finish fixing up that bike. Whoa! Y'all beat me here, that's crazy. I already ate one of my sandwiches, it didn't even make it out of the kitchen. But, so this is where I do a lot of my work for the day. Usually I just finish up on whatever schoolwork I got or anything like that. But now that I'm out of school, there's no schoolwork to really be done, right? So you might be asking yourself, well, what are we working on if not schoolwork? That's a really great question. We're not working on anything really. I have some physics work I guess I could do. But, I don't really feel like doing that right now. So, rather what I'm going to do is I'm going to eat this sandwich. I'm going to pop on some music, and I'm going to read this new book that I got. Not a new book that I got. I've actually had it for quite some years. But The Great Gatsby. I've seen the movie and whatnot. Who hasn't, right? But, so I wanted a short read because I wanted another book. Last book I read was Autobiography of Angela Davis, which was a stupendous book. Let me actually go get that now. Cut. Open. This is the book right here, which was actually lent to me by my history teacher. Shout out Miss Jackson, she's great. She's given me a couple of books. This was the second book she recommended to me. The first book was Autobiography of Malcolm X, which I also read, which is a stupendous book. It's probably my favorite book of all time. Anyway, so I read this one, and it was pretty good. I really liked it, and it's a dense book-ish. It's like 400 pages, about, or maybe like just short of 400. No, it's exactly 400 pages. And I finished it, so it's pretty dense, right? So you might be thinking, well, what are you doing this little itty bitty book, right? Well, firstly, it's a classic, so I was like, all right, well, you know, why not, right? But also, I have another book that I was prescribed by my history teacher, which was another autobiography, Ready for Revolution. It was the autobiography of Stokely Carmichael. And I got through like 70 pages of it, but I want to say that book's like 900 pages long. Like it's thick. Like that book is easily this thick at least. And it's like, you know, I've read long books before, but last time I even picked that book up was easily probably a month ago, 2 months ago. So I kind of just want to ease my mind into reading again with something easy. I've just been so busy with sports and school and whatnot, all that other blah, blah, blah. So I just wanted a nice, easy read. Something, you know, not stressful really. I don't know how stressful this book is or not, but it's only, let me see. It's not even 200 pages, I don't think. Yeah, 180 pages, you know, so figured, you know, this is nice, something I've been wanting to read for a while. So I'm gonna read maybe, I don't know, probably read till my head starts hurting. That's usually a good marker. I find once, not like, you know, a migraine or nothing, but, you know, usually after reading for so long, you get a little, you know, jumbled up in the words, right, whatever. Anyway, so I'm gonna do that, read, and I'm popping on some jams, man, and I'm gonna put y'all on a time lapse. This will be a nice little chill segment, you feel me? We could chill together, right? So, let's do that. Right, so turns out my phone died while I was recording my little analyses of some cool ideas that I found in Gatsby. So thankfully it only cut out one thing, so this might be a little awkwardly timed. I'll probably add like a freeze frame or something. Anyway, there was only one thing that I wanted to go over that I thought was a very cool idea about this book, and it's the idea of toxic masculinity that's being represented in Tom. Right, he talks about, well, Nick, I gotta stop saying names. Anyway, when the guy's thinking about, you know, the whole replaying the night in his head, right, when he's thinking about all the people that he just met and whatnot, when he reflects upon Tom, the guy that was also talking about the how the white race needs to remain at the top, right, he talks about how he seems to have an ego problem. He says, if his sturdy physical egotism no longer nourishes his peremptory heart, which I interpret this as direct, like, he's saying this guy, the reason why he's cheating on his wife and whatnot, because that was the context, is talking about how he's not surprised that he had that he was cheating on his cousin, right? And that's
And that's because he finds that he's such a masculine man, right? He's such a manly man and whatnot, that he feels the need to cheat on his wife or whatnot, or not that feels the need to cheat on his wife, but rather he cannot be vulnerable with his wife to fully trust her and be loyal to her, because to be loyal to her and to would force him to have some type of vulnerability with her, and to have vulnerability with her would give her power in the relationship. The dynamics of the relationship would be more equal, right? And Tom's ego, right, his overly masculine ego tells him, you cannot do that. So that's why he's got this other woman and whatnot, because he's like, he knows he cannot be honest with his own wife. Therefore, he must go out and do these other things that make him more of a man, right? Which I think that's very interesting. That shading that, because now showing now it's highlighting the idea of how the patriarchy of the time, this is the 20s, we got to remember, right, has hurt men as well, right? So I think it's very interesting that so far in the book, they've highlighted race, they've highlighted classism, they've highlighted gender roles, and the patriarchy in total. And I think it's very interesting that it's not focusing on one, but seems to, almost evenly, showing, hey, look, here's one problem right here that you could see of this time. Here's another problem of this time. Here's another thing of this. So far, I'm finding it real interesting, man. This isn't a book review channel, by the way. I know I said that earlier. I want to clarify that. This is not a book review channel. Anyway, those are some cool ideas I thought about. So now that this segment is done pretty much, I'm probably, or the next segment you'll see, I'm going to be going to bed. I'm pretty tired since nightfall. Can't go out and fix my bike. But I'm going to go hit the game probably, chill, wake up, and then I'll be back in this timeline. Crazy, right? I feel like this is some Donnie Darko type stuff, Anyway, so I'm going to show you all that right quick, and then, then we'll go from there. It's the next day now. Big gloomy out here, just rained. But it's nice, there's a nice little cool breeze. So I figured, well, it's morning time. I got some stuff I got to do later. Let's fix my bike, right? So that's what we're out here for now. Yesterday my bike caught flat. I think I told you about that. So we have to put all this back together. That should be fun, right? Just got to reinflate this. Now that I have my mom's car and the compressor, I can do that. Reattach this all back together, right? Once I do that, I put it all back together. I have a bike off camera, but it's right there. You can't see it. Anyway, we put all that back together, and yeah, so let's start it up. Start it up. Right, so it started raining. That's great. So now, it's probably gonna be raining all day. Looking at the forecast and whatnot, I don't feel like dealing with that. As you just seen in the voiced over clip and whatnot, I'm just waiting for the tube now to dry. Just put some new glue over it. Hopefully that'll hold. If not, I don't know. And then, yeah, so I'm gonna wait for that to dry. I'm probably gonna wait about an hour before I even go and even try to inflate it again. I really want to make sure that that one holds. I think that was the problem last time, was I didn't leave it for long enough. Totally cool, totally chill. Anyway, I feel like this is a good place to wrap this up. You know, that was pretty much a full day, you know, of my life and whatnot. So now I'm gonna edit whatever you're watching. I don't know how that's gonna end up. All I have now is just a bunch of videos. So I'm gonna edit all that, and then yeah, and this will be the end of my first video. Hope you enjoyed. I'm gonna try to post about once a week ish. So next video will be continuation. We'll be on the bike and whatnot. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment if you want to see anything. Appreciate you.